Welcome back. Today we're going to be expanding on the rolling ball sculpture that I'm working on right now. Last time we finished the fast spiral, I've got that all in. I had my daughter out here the other day and we did some stress testing on it and it's working quite well. I'm pretty happy with it. And so now, if that's track 1 coming off the track splitter up here, we're going to expand track 2, get it closer to the bottom. So right now, track 2 kind of comes off, goes forward, turns, comes back towards the back of the sculpture, and then goes into this back and forth section that's kind of slow moving. It slows them down real good. And then I intended for them to come off here. I want them to gain a little bit of speed, and so I have drawn out on some cardstock paper kind of what I want it to do here. And so the marbles will come off this kind of slow section, and it's hard to represent with paper, but they will come around the corner of this support here and pick up a bit of speed. And so there'll be a couple inch difference in height from here to over here. So as the marbles will gain speed, they'll come into this flat spiral. And so I'll have that fast vertical spiral on this side, and then over here, it's going to be kind of a small flat spiral. The marbles will come out of the center of that, and then they're going to come back towards the back of the sculpture again. So that's the current plan. I've kind of gone over it a few times with my pencil here. Now I just want to kind of make sure that my track spacer that I made a while ago, this is the exact width between the rails. So if I place it between any of the rails on this sculpture, it should just touch each side. So if each of these lines drawn on the paper is representing a track rail, and I can fit this in between them, now there's a little bit too much space here, so what I'll do is when I'm actually building this, I'll make sure to close it up. What I am worried about on this drawing is the outer line to here and to here, which I've double checked on the sculpture. So I'm good with all that. So at this point, I think it's time to start actually bending some track and start making this. So let's see what happens. So I just wanted to jump in here and talk about bending this spiral. It's a process. It's taken me some time. I realized that about halfway through this, it probably would have been smart to start from the inside and work my way out, because it's getting harder and harder to get the inner bends, the radius right with just my fingers, and I don't really like bending with pliers because it leaves little marks. Like my fingers, I can run around this and it's pretty smooth. As soon as I start using pliers to make small radius bends and stuff, then it leaves little micro marks on there and you can kind of feel them with your fingers, and sometimes you can even hear them marble, so we're getting somewhere here. And so the key will be, once I get the loop kind of where I want it, which it's not quite there yet. You can see, like, that's probably about the only place right there that's actually the right width for the track distance. And so what I plan on doing is, I don't know yet, actually. We'll see, because that kind of works there. So I'm getting close. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of a downward slope inside the spiral as I'm doing this. It's a little easier to do that now, obviously. But I am getting close. Now the key is, does that come off the way I want it to? And that's where we got to kind of throw it up here and see. Not really like, that's gonna have to be shorter. There we go. So I'm gonna have to keep playing with this, and I'll keep working on it, and I think we'll come back once I'm to a point that I can start soldering. Like I said, we would be back once I'm ready to start soldering. And so, got the first track spacer in place. Got my resistance soldering iron set up and ready to go. So here's the first connection of this flat spiral. If I can get my foot on the pedal. Good connections. We'll take the clamp off. Yeah. Very good. And now I'm just going to keep doing that. I've already spaced the track around. And so now it's just a matter of putting on spacers. I'll take and kind of measure to where the next one will go, which will be right there. Grab us a track spacer. Helps if you don't squeeze the clip that's holding the thing. element to this piece here that I'm working on, what I'm calling the flat spiral. And so this is where the marbles will come in from the sculpture, come around, do its circles, and then come out the bottom. And we need to add another rail for the track right here. And so that's what we're going to start with right now. Well, I feel like the flat spiral is complete now. I've been sitting here testing it, ran the marble through it a few times. The only thing that I've noticed, I've got to close up the exit here a little bit. It's a little loose, if you will. So I got to pull the tracks closer together. But there's no track spacers on there yet, so it's going to do that. But otherwise, as long as I get it mounted in there at about that angle, they'll come in at that speed, do their little circles, and go out the bottom. And so I will now throw this in the sculpture. So I've got it fit kind of where I want it. I need to tweak it a little bit, but I'm going to get the track connected here and then work it into place. So I've got this all ready to go. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. And that's why we gotta mess with the angle here a little bit. Okay. And so as you can see, this will take a little bit of tweaking. There it goes. But they won't be coming off there with that speed here.